Most people starting testosterone are handed a prescription and sent home. Maybe you got a pamphlet. Maybe you got a quick rundown of the physical changes to expect. And if you're lucky, someone mentions the mood piece briefly, usually something vague about emotional shifts in the first few months. What you probably don't get is the specific, practical, and honest information about how testosterone is going to affect your mental health over time. How the way you take it matters. What happens when you stop. And why, if you're non-binary, almost none of the research even applies to you. This is part 2 of that conversation. The first thing nobody told me. How you take testosterone affects your mental health more than most doctors explain. Not everyone knows this, but testosterone comes in different forms. Injections, gels, patches, implantable pellets, and they don't all behave the same way in your body or in your mind. Injections will cause your testosterone levels to spike and then drop over the course of your dosing cycle. That peak and trough is why so many people on injections notice their mood lifts after a shot and then flattens out before the next one. The emotional ride isn't inevitable, but it's a feature of the delivery method. Gels and patches work differently. They maintain more consistent levels day to day, and research shows that consistency translates directly into more stable mood. Fewer highs after the shot, but also fewer lows in the trough. Pellets, implanted under the skin every few months, provide the most stable levels of all, and studies show this leads to the most emotionally stable experience. This information exists. It's just not usually part of the conversation when someone is first prescribed testosterone. And if you're struggling emotionally and nobody has asked you how you're taking it, that's a question worth raising. The second thing nobody told me, stopping testosterone has mental health effects too, and almost nobody talks about these. When I stopped, the emotional landscape shifted again. Things that testosterone had quieted started to come back. Some of that was hard, and some of it was clarifying. The anxiety that improved for me on T began to creep back. The emotional blunting I'd felt, that difficulty accessing tears and deep feeling, started to lift, which was both a relief and disorienting because I'd adapted to functioning without it. Stopping testosterone isn't the end of a process. It's another transition. And the mental health support that gets offered to people starting HRT almost never gets offered to the people who stop or pause it. You're often just left to figure out what's happening in your own mind without much guidance. If you've stopped or paused testosterone and you're noticing emotional shifts you weren't prepared for, that's real, it's documented, and it's not a sign that something's wrong with you. The third thing nobody told me, if you're non-binary, the research barely includes you. Most studies on testosterone and mental health focus on trans men pursuing full medical transition. People who are non-binary, or who use testosterone for partial masculinization, or who land somewhere in the middle, we are largely absent from the data, which means the information that does exist may not reflect our experience. The dosages studied, the outcomes measured, and the definitions used, they often assume a binary endpoint that doesn't apply to everyone using this medication. That invisibility has its own mental health impact. It's one thing to have limited information. It's another to navigate a medical system that wasn't built with your specific experience in mind and has to be pushed to see you clearly. HRT is not a simple story. It's not the nightmare that anti-trans narratives want it to be, and it's not a seamless journey without complexity. It's a real medical experience with real mental health dimensions that deserve honest conversation. That's what this channel is here for. I'm beside you. Consider subscribing for more.